Welcome back, Swag Team. It's your boy, the Swagologist, back with another movie review, and today we're doing Fantastic Beasts 2, The Crimes of Grindelwald. Now, I've done a non-spoiler review before, and I enjoyed talking about this movie, but now this is the spoiler review. So if you haven't seen this movie, pause it right now, go to your nearest theater, check it out, come back, unpause, and we can go from here. Or you can save us in the save watch later, and we can watch, and you can watch me right after you finish watching the movie, because it's about to go into heavy spoiler alert type territory. So make sure you go do that and then come join. Now, people that have seen the movie, welcome. Let's get it in. Let's get this discussion going, because there's a lot to unpack in this movie. So I'm ready to dive in, and if I forget anything or you just want to talk about it in the comment section below, please do so. But anyway, without further ado, let's get it, because I am excited about this movie. It was dope to me, but let me explain why some of these things were awesome to me. Like, for instance, the opening scene. Oh my god, the opening scene is an amazing way to establish Grindelwald's badassery in the movie. I mean, he is straight badass in this movie at the beginning for sure, and shows that he has like a master of the dark arts. I mean, the Dark Lord swag is dripping everywhere. It's dripping swagoo all over the place, especially in the first 15 minutes of this film. So what happens is you see him, this is like 6 months after he got captured in Fantastic Beasts 1, and they're torturing him for information and followers and stuff, and they got him going up steps kind of like this and stuff. He's like curling up, going like this. You know what I'm saying? Up some steps or whatever. So he's all like crazy like this. Going up some steps, like floating and junk like that behind the people and stuff. And they got it where they got these guards that rotate in and out, if so they don't get too close to him, because he got this like charm, this charismatic nature about him. I mean, like I said, that Dark Lord swag, he got it dripping swagoo all over the place, and they can't help but just fall for what he's talking about, because he's so smooth. He's like, dude, it's smooth, it's crap throughout this whole entire film, right? So he just has like a natural spell that he can cast on people. It's not real spell, even though he is a wizard. It's just a natural spell from how calm and collected this movie is throughout this film, and especially you figure out this throughout the film. But in the first beginning, you realize that, like I said, they try and got these guards that's rotating out, but that doesn't work. This obviously doesn't work, because there's this one guy named Abernathy that he's with, and you come to find out that he must have switched places with him off screen, because they have switched bodies, like transfiguration or whatever. And this dude Abernathy must have been a guard that used to watch him before, because he's a guard of him right now currently, but he must have been a guard that switched out with him before and fell into the Dark Lord swag, and they had switched up in the jail cell. I was like, wow, that's crazy, right? So he ends up switching places with him in the carriage, like you see in the trailer. He's ends up in a carriage or whatever that flies off into the sky. And when they switch off, then you have your boy Grindelwald. He comes down and uses the aberration and flies in under the carriage, and then he apparates under the carriage, and he kills about 8 or 9 of them, or just kills them with ease. I'm talking about, I mean, just
in the world where we wizards were free. Join me or die.
Oh man, it was a beastly 15 minutes, very intense. And you're like, wow, this dude is established and stuff. I'm talking about, like, he the way he throws his wand, the way he sets the lasses into snakes and stuff, and kills this one guy and throws water up and floods the whole carriage on the other side. It's like ridiculous. It's definitely worth the price of admission just for the first 15. So then we see Newt, and we realize that he's banned from international travel because of the things that transpired in Fantastic Beasts 1. And the British Ministry of Magic is trying to use that as a bargaining chip to convince Newt to join them and go kill Credence, because they want Credence killed, because Credence is like his magic's uncontrolled. They can't do nothing with him. They feel like he's a threat and they want him killed because of what happened in Fantastic Beasts 1. Little did Newt even know that Credence survived Fantastic Beasts 1. He thought he died. So he's like, he's dead, and he's like, no, he's still alive. He made it or whatever, and they're trying to convince him and using that as the international travel as a way to get him to join the ministry. But Newt's like not with it. Plus, they trying to make him go under his brother, and you don't know at first the reason why he's like kind of against what his brother, him and his brother have like a thing going. You don't find out till a little bit later the reason why, but at the moment they're like nah, and he's like not feeling it. So they try and convince him, but he's like not with it. Because he doesn't want to A, kill Credence, and because he's not that type of wizard, and B, he doesn't want to join a side of a war that he feels they have nothing to do with. All he wants is international travel. So he gives up on that, even though he still may be watched throughout the film. Then after that, we're back at Hogwarts, baby. We're back at Hogwarts, and the Minister of Magic is trying to convince Dumbledore to attack Grindelwald because Dumbledore is one of the baddest. You know, Dumbledore got that real good swag. That swag, that whistle swag he got, oh, that shit dripping too. So don't sleep. But anyway, so of course the minister comes to ask him, and when he asks him, sadly Dumbledore's like, I can't, and he keeps saying I can't. He keeps saying I can't, no matter what the minister throw at him. He's like, I can't. And he's like, so now the minister don't trust him, and he feels like he may be trying to join the Dark Lord in the future or something. So he throws on these like he throws on these magical, I call them muggle cuffs. The reason I say that is because you can't do magic when you have them on, so I consider them like, instead of magic restrictions or whatever, I call them muggle cuffs. So after that, we pan off, and we find out as an audience member like why he can't do it, and it reveals that magical mirror that shows you your innermost desires, like in Harry Potter it showed him his parents or whatever. Well, in this case it showed Dumbledore
I can't move against Grindelwald.
most private desire, and that's Grindelwald. You know, they showed Johnny Depp's Grindelwald, then it panned out, and you can see, well, pan back or whatever, behind him, and you can see young Dumbledore and young Grindelwald standing in front of each other, and then them connecting hands like this. And the reason they're connecting hands is because they're doing a blood oath. Now that blood is trapped inside of this valve that your boy Grindelwald keeps like a badge of honor to show that we can't fight each other. So Dumbledore has made a blood oath with Grindelwald to say that they cannot fight each other at any given time. So it was like, wow, this sucks. You know what I'm saying? You kind of find out. Then you
Can I move against Grindelwald?
also come to find out, based off of what Dumbledore is saying, the way he's like looking off in the sunset almost when he's talking about Grindelwald, that they were more than, like he even says, we were more than friends, because or much closer than that, or something like that, or whatever in the film. And you realize that they were lovers, you know, as well. So, and especially the way they looked in each other's eyes when they had their hands together for the blood oath. So that's also probably part of the reason that Dumbledore cannot seem to move on Grindelwald, and why he tries to send Newt out there, and you know, why he sends Newt out there and why he denied the ministry, because of this such oath. But it was just like, dang, it's messed up, because Grindelwald is smart. That's why he keeps the pendant with him, or like the valve with him at all times. So he's like, hey bruh, you see this? You can't touch me, dog. You can't even touch me, bruh. So I find that crazy. Then after that, we finally see the rest of the crew, or basically most of the crew from Fantastic Beasts 1, as in Jacob and Queenie. Jacob and Queenie come, and when they come, they visit Newt at his apartment, and you find out the reasons why Jacob remembers everything from before in Fantastic Beasts 1. Y'all remember he got hit with the amnesia rain, or whatever is what I'm calling it. Got hit with that and forgot everything. Well, turns out he didn't forget everything. He just forgot all the bad things, which is, you know, convenient, but I'm cool with it. He forgot all of the bad things, remembers all the good things about magic. So that was pretty dope for him to be able to do that, and that's why he's making some of those baked goods at the end of Fantastic Beasts 1, and they look like the animals from the that film or whatever. And he's with Queenie, and they're actually in a relationship, but you find out in a funny way that he's under a love spell, not because he doesn't want to be in a relationship with Queenie, but because he doesn't want to marry Queenie as of right now, but Queenie wants to marry him like right now. But you find out in a funny way he's under a love spell, and then Newt figures out that he's under that spell, so he convinces Queenie to have reason to break him out of it. So she breaks him out of it. Then they have an argument because, like I said, he wants to marry her, but he doesn't want to marry her right now because muggles and magical people cannot be married together. And when they do that, you know, it's against the rules, so he feels she will go to jail, but she doesn't care because she is in love with him, you know. And he loves her so much that he's scared to see her to go to jail. So they have that conflict, and Queenie's like, screw this, I'm going to find my sister Tina, you know, from Fantastic Beasts 1. I'm going to go find her, and like, I gotta go. But before she leaves, she tells Newt that his sister, I mean not his sister, well her sister, you know what I'm saying, Tina, thinks that he's married to Lita Lestrange. And this is where the conflict between Newt and his brother come in, because actually it's not him she's engaged to, it's his brother Theseus. Ouch, I know, that sucks. So that's what ends up happening. That causes both Jacob and Newt to combine together, because Newt finds the postcard that was all ripped up by Queenie in the apartment, puts it back together, and saw that Tina's actually in Paris.
There's a rumor that Newt Scamander is headed to Paris.
Are you going somewhere?
No, we're going somewhere.
Jeez.
So both him and Jacob decide to band together to go see their women, basically, because they both are ended up going to Paris because Queenie's going to find Tina, and Tina wrote that postcard from Paris to Queenie to let her know where she's at. So that's where they end up going right after that, and they use some illegal methods, of course, to do so, because as we stated earlier, Newt is under strict, like, he probably is under watch first of all, and second, he's not to do international travel, so he decides to use this illegal port key to get to Paris. And I love how they set up Paris. They have this cool little statue that moves and opens up this little gateway, and you walk through kind of like the railroad, the train station, 9 3/4 or whatever. I'm talking about railroad, you know, the train station, how you got to go through a wall. On this one, the statue is like covering the wall, and then it reveals it, and then you go through. So it's pretty cool, and you can see the magical version of London. I always like when they do that. Like, have a magical version, and then they have the traditional version for everybody else, you know what I'm saying?
Magic blooms only in rare souls.
When that happens, he goes, both Newt and Jacob get there, and when they get there, they meet Nicholas Flamel and all kinds of stuff.
Are you a ghost?
No, I'm alive, but I'm an alchemist and therefore immortal.
Oh,
Nicolas Flamel.
Jacob Kowalski.
Oh,
You don't look a day over 375.
When they first get there, they find out where everybody's going using this cool, like, dust, fairy dust magic type stuff. It looks like fairy dust, and it brings up like a hologram and everything. And Newt is like, and it brings up everything, and he like sees everything that's going on.
Do you know why?
And he finds out where Tina's been, because Tina shows up there originally to find Credence, because Credence is with the circus. He's working for the circus, and also you find out that Nagini's there. And now when I say Nagini, you're like, ain't that the snake that Voldemort has? Well, yes, but she used to be a Asian woman, but that Asian woman got attacked by some kind of snake curse or whatever, to where if she has to change to the snake, but if she changes too much to the snake, she may never change back to human again. So, and she's at the circus because, of course, the circus master doesn't give a crap about that. He just wants to make money, so he convinces her to change so he can make more money or whatever. So
The moment has come to take our rightful place.
that's why Tina was there, because Tina got banned or something from the French Ministry of Magic. She's trying to get back in good graces as an aura, because she's an aura, and she's trying to get back in good graces, so she figures if she captures Credence, she'll be fine. There's also someone else there called Yusef Kama, and Yusef Kama is part of the Kama bloodline, which is one of the purest bloodlines that's in the Wizarding world. And he's not has an unbreakable vow to kill Credence, so he's there to kill him. Whereas Tina's there to bring him in and get back in good graces. So they're in two different headspaces on why to get him. But she ends up meeting. That's how we find out about Yusuf, is through Tina, because they end up meeting each other and having this discussion about where's Credence and how to find him. Right now, Yusuf is a very, very important piece to this puzzle. You know what I'm saying? Because when Yusuf comes in, you find out, like I said, that he has an unbreakable vow to kill Credence, right? And like, matter of fact, hold on, let me pause on that. Let me go back to your boy Newt. Newt ends up like using that dust thing to find Yusuf, they find each other, and they just between him and Jacob, they find out where Tina is and where to find her, the beast. Sorry, but anyway, find her, and also I think also he's looking for information to find your girl Queenie, but he does. I don't think Yusuf knew where she was, but he definitely knew where, had an idea where Tina was. So they found Tina because they used this cool magic where they found his feather in his hat, and it went around and went right back in his head. And they found him that way, Yusuf anyway. So then finally, your boy Newt Scamander and Tina Barrett got to reveal their love for each other, which was awesome. Sadly, they didn't get to kiss, but it was really cute the way they figured it out, because they had to break into this, like, I think it was a ministry or a bank or whatever, and they was pretending to be Lita. She was pretending to be Lita Lestrange, but then she told the little guard lady that he's Newt himself. He's that's her fiance or whatever, because she thought, like I said, that he was married to Lita when it was really his brother or whatever. So it was a cute way that they figured out. They finally revealed their love to each other, and there's like an ongoing joke throughout there that I don't want to ruin because it's really, really funny, even though I'm ruining most of the movie anyway. That's funny. I want y'all to see that if y'all haven't, that are just checking out spoilers or whatever. So that happens, and then back to the Yusuf thing. Well, actually, Lita finds them in there, and then there's like little weird cats that come up to just attack them. It's really cool little sequence, honestly. But anyway, back to Yusuf. The reason Yusuf's so important is because, like I said, he has this unbreakable vow to go kill Credence. Now, the reason he has this is because he's believed to be, by Yusuf, the lost boy Corvus Lestrange. Now you're like, whoa, so is Credence Corvus Lestrange, or basically Lita's brother? Well, what happens is that both Lita Lestrange, Newt, Tina, Yusuf, and Credence and Nagini all end up in Paris because of basically Grindelwald set this up. Grindelwald set this up by he found both Nagini and Credence, trying to find out who Credence is, because Credence's whole motivation throughout the movie is to figure out who he is as a person. He's trying to figure out who he is for the longest. So they all end up in Paris because Grindelwald comes to Credence one-on-one and explains to him that he knows where he knows who his parents are, you know what I'm saying? Or he knows who he is anyway. Just come down to Paris, where I'm about to give the speech out, basically, and I will let you know who you are, or whatever. I'll finally tell you, or whatever. So they all end up in the Lestrange family tomb, because Lita's looking for something there, and Yusuf's trying to find Credence, and Credence is trying to find answers. So they all end up in there, and this is where the biggest bombs keep dropping. Now, earlier throughout the film, you get to go back to Hogwarts in the class with the dark arts teacher is happens to be Dumbledore. And also, I forgot to shout this out, which was awesome. In Hogwarts, they had a McGonagall show up. I don't think it's Minerva McGonagall, our beloved Minerva, because she wouldn't have been born at this time, but it was a McGonagall. It was a cool little Easter egg that they put in the film. But anyways, so in that class, they was battling the Boggart, of course, to learn how to face their fears, you know what I'm saying? And the funny one was, of course, Newt's, where his biggest fear was working at a desk job. So a desk piled up with a bunch of work was there, and that was pretty funny. But then Lita Lestrange steps up because she was in his same class, and hers was like, it was like a white sheet floating down or whatever, and it looked like, you know how a white sheet has like some like boulder or something in it. If you see that in water, that's how it looked. And it was like, and you're like, and then she like runs off, like, so she couldn't face that fear or whatever. And even Newt, as a young boy, tried to talk to her about it, and she wasn't having it. But what's crazy about that is what happens later on in like this family tomb. So Yusuf ends up giving us the information of why he's on this like unbreakable, must kill this dude revenge tour, is because his mom, Yusef's mom, was extremely beautiful, and many men lusted for her, right? Because him and his mom, and I mean his mom and his dad were, love, they were perfect for each other, had a beautiful marriage, was fine, had Yusef, and they were like a good, happy family. It was actually picture perfect almost, but his mom is extremely beautiful, and like I said, a lot of men lusted for her. And one of those men was Corvus Lestrange the Fourth. Now, Corvus Lestrange the Fourth was a evil man, and does shady stuff and has many wives and stuff like that, and many children. And in this case, he he went and found his mother and put the Imperious curse on her. And when he put the Imperious curse on her, she was basically just like a zombie and just lusted for Corvus. So they ended up having a baby together, and that baby ended up being Lita Lestrange. And then sadly, Yusef's mom died in childbirth, and not 3 months later he got another wife and had a baby with her, and that was Corvus Lestrange V, who so happens to be Credence apparently, and was given to Mary Barebond and renamed Credence in that future. But when that information is given, Yusef's about to do the killing blow, and Credence is about to accept it because he's lost everything anyway. He just wanted to know who he was, so he was basically on effort mode, and he was about to take the final blow. But Lita was like, wait, you can't kill Credence or Corvus for that matter, and because I killed Corvus. And you're like, what? You know what I'm saying? So Lita goes and starts telling her story as the reason why she says she kills Corvus, and you're sitting there like, wow, this is some crazy crap to do. You're a horrible sister.
You never met a monster you couldn't love.
But anyways, so what she does is Corvus, Corvus Lestrange the Fourth, the senior, basically, he decided to send his family off because he knows his family's under scrutiny for all the shady stuff that he does in general. So he sends them off on this boat, this big boat. Some people are saying it's the Titanic, but whatever. Anyway, go on this big boat, right? And Corvus the Fifth, aka Credence, is crying his head off, just crying, won't stop crying. So this is bugging Lita, and she's 6 or 7 or some crap like that, right? So she's getting aggravated, so she just takes the baby, still crying his head off, won't stop crying. She just wanted a little piece, just a little piece. So she just switches him out with another baby. I'm like, damn, you're a horrible sister. It takes that, I'm just saying, takes that baby, goes back, and then all of a sudden the boat hits a glacier and starts breaking down. It splits in half and starts breaking down in the water. So the half elf that was that they were sent to be watching over them, takes the baby, unknowing that it's not Corvus anymore, that is some other baby, and then they get in a lifeboat. Now you get in a lifeboat and you see the mother of the child that got switched. She doesn't realize that's not her child because she's just freaking out because, okay, you're getting hit by a glacier, we're about to die. Let me get in this lifeboat. Let me take my baby because I don't think my baby switched out with another baby. Why would I think that? You know what I'm saying? Gets in the lifeboat, but then their lifeboat tips over while Lita Lestrange is looking from her lifeboat at this, with this new brother of hers, and her watching her brother sink to the bottom of the ocean in a white sheet like this. And that's where the connectivity comes, and you're like, wow, that's nuts. Right? So then this is why Lita is not having it at school with Newt, talking about it, doesn't want to talk about it ever. That's her biggest fear, is that watching her brother die and thinking it's her fault, you know what I'm saying? And that's a horrible feeling. And there was a cool moment with her and Dumbledore in the beginning when he was talking about his sister and how he doesn't want the same thing for him that happened to him happen to her, where she had that guilt, because Dumbledore always knows without, even if he doesn't know, Dumbledore knows. So that takes place, and you're like, wow. And then Credence is like, well, who am I? Basically, you know what I mean? He's like, fuck, I thought I just found out who I was, now I still don't know who I am. And he's trying to figure that out. So after that, they have the big auditorium scene where your boy Grindelwald, with all his Dark Lord swag, is about to give out this speech and convince everybody to join, of course, because, that's just him,
But the old ways serve us no longer.
And then they had Abernathy come, well, but even before Abernathy, before I even get to him, the auras, including Theseus, Newt's brother, decide to come down and take care of this themselves. They all come together because they find out about that Grindelwald contacted Credence, because they're on the watch for Credence, because they got this one rogue guy that's going to get him, and that's who stopped Credence from finding out who he was at the earlier. At least he thought he could figure out at that point. So they come down. Newt and them are already there, of course, and then, like I said, Credence is about to go in there and find out what's going on. Jacob is over there because he finds out with the help of your boy Nicholas Flamel, because Nicholas Flamel is in Paris, and he helps your boy Jacob find out, because that's where he ends up staying with for a while Newt goes to find Tina. He finds out that he sees Queenie finding out where the big event is, where Grindelwald's about to give the speech. So he goes in there, he finds Queenie. Queenie's like, hey baby, or whatever, and Jacob's like, well, come on baby, let's get out of here. And she's like, no, let's see what he has to say, because Grindelwald, like I said, that Dark Lord swag is real. I'm trying to tell you, that Dark Lord swag is real. You need to drop that swag on everybody that listens to him for at least more than 2 minutes. If you listen to him, you got every single time. So anyway, she's like, let's stay and see what he has to say. And he doesn't want to, he's reluctant, but he does it anyway for the love of Queenie. So he stays there, and then, your boy Grindelwald's dropping all this swagology on everybody, and then he decides to hit that cool dust magic. I love that dust magic. I need to know what it's called. But he's like, and then all this like cool, like they're in basically a VR without the VR headset, and they're in like this World War III type situation that he's showing. And what he's doing,
The time's coming.
is he's showing it to say that with him, this will not happen. But if you don't let me do what I'm trying to do, this will happen. And see, he's got a good plan. Like what he wants to do is good. It's just the way he wants going about it is the wrong way. Kind of like Killmonger in Black Panther, or your boy Thanos in Infinity War. He's trying to get his people from out of obscurity and from under, like, hiding who they are as magical people, and he wants them to come out and just be open. But he also wants them to like basically take over the world, which is like, that's where it goes, no, you know what I'm saying? But it's kind of like, also like reminds me of Magneto a lot. Like his plan is almost the exact same thing as Magneto's, you know what I'm saying? Where he's tired of being obscured and looked at as bad or crazy or whatever, and he wants to be able to express himself and be who they are, let their people be. So he's going to get a lot of followers, and he has been getting a lot of followers for not only the cause, but also his, Dark Lord swag is real. So he's giving the speech, and people are like digging it, and then all of a sudden he used Abernathy to seal the deal, because he used Abernathy to act like he's one of the auras that's with Theseus, but really is not, and he ends up killing like a audience member, one of the wizards there, and then he's like, and then Grindelwald uses that chance to say, see, I'm not the bad guy, they are, look at me and on my Dark Lord swag, now follow me. And they all say, all right, bet. And he's like, tell the world what happened here today, and they all disappear. So all that's left is like our heroes versus, him and what he's trying to do. So then he convinces Credence to come. He's talking to Credence. Credence comes in. Nagini's like, no. And he's like, I have to do this. And he goes and leaves Nagini on the steps. So then next is Queenie. And Queenie's like going, and like Jacob's like, what are you doing? Where are you going? Or whatever. And she ends up going anyway, because he's like, but he's like, but I love you or whatever, stay with me, let's just go. And she's like, she kisses him, and she's like, I'm sorry. And he's like, Queenie! And then she goes in the fire, doesn't burn up, and goes through, because at this point your boy Grindelwald has threw up fire around him, and he has like this unbreakable firewall, and only people that he allows to come through will come through. If you don't come through though, you will die tonight, is what he's basically saying.
Let's take him.
Wants to see that piece destroyed.
So Queenie goes in, and she doesn't get burned, and she dips off, and she basically gives all her heart and love and soul and intentions all to Grindelwald, which is really messed up. I'm like, dang, we lost one of the good ones here. So then after that, Grindelwald's throwing flames at people, trying to killing Aurors left and right, because they're like, we're not doing it, fuck that. So he's like, all right, bet, boom, and Aurors try to escape now, bet, boom, got you. You know what I'm saying? He's killing them left and right, and then he's about to go and try and kill both Theseus and Newt, but Theseus and Newt are battling off and blasting back, but they're getting weak and they're about to get killed. And then Lita steps up. She's like, she looks back and goes, I love you, looking at both of them, because they're both standing beside each other, so we don't know which one she was talking to. She probably was talking to both, to be honest. And then she steps in the way and gets killed right there in front of their faces by Grindelwald. And I was like, yo. So that ends up killing, to them and to most people in that time, I'm guessing, the Lestrange lineage. But we know, as future Harry Potter fans, that Bellatrix Lestrange comes from there. So I wonder if they're ever going to tie that thread together, and I'm sure they will, but how is the question. And I wonder if they're going to do it in the third film. But I doubt it, because it's like so far back, so I wonder how they're going to connect that information in. But anyways, so that ends up happening. And then your boy Grindelwald starts making the flames turn into these big blue flaming dragons. Kind of reminds me of Game of Thrones. They were really dope. They were just flying around, about to kill the whole city, because he's like, I got what I needed. I'm about to dip out. Let me go ahead and let y'all die from this. But then your boy Nicholas Flamel steps up, and we find out earlier that Nicholas Flamel got some information from this lady, and we don't know who she is per se, but we know that she's giving out information. And we see her come in, and we're like, what in the world? What's going on? Who is this? But she's like, hey, Nicholas, you got to do this. And he's like, I don't want to do it, but you got to, and I'm going to show you how. And I'm like, well, she knows more magic than Nicholas. She knows how to do certain things that I need to know. We need to know who she is. So hopefully in the third one we get to know, because we didn't find out really in this one. At least I didn't. And if you know who she is, please tell me in the comment section below. But anyways, so Nicholas comes up and he's like, everybody join hands. Join wands, or whatever he said. And he was like, right in the ground. That's that cool shot you see from the trailer when it hit it in the ground. And then these red flames come up, douse the blue flames, and we're like, thank God, right? So
Not disposable.
So then we're right back at my favorite place, Hogwarts again, because that's where Dumbledore resides, of course. So the Ministry, oh, before that, my apologies, when they douse the flames, your boy Newt steps up to his brother, and you know, they basically express that they love Lita, like without saying it, you know, they gave each other hugs and whatever. And then Theseus looks at his brother, and his brother finally looks back, and Newt finally tells him that he decided that he's going to join the Ministry, because he saw, you know, the capabilities of Grindelwald and what he's capable of and what his plan is. And also they just witnessed their love, one of their loves of their lives, die in front of their face, but at his hand. So he definitely wants to get him and stop him, you know what I'm saying? So they all come back to good old Hogwarts, baby. They come back to Hogwarts, and my boy Jude Law Dumbledore, which was great. Like I said in that first review, Jude Law was awesome as Dumbledore. Gave us that young Dumbledore without losing our wise and knowing Dumbledore all at the same time. So he comes up, and Newt goes over to him, and he introduces him to none other than that blood valve that blood curse valve that your boy, you know, be like, yo, can't touch me. Oh, we can touch you now, because my boy got it. And he Dumbledore's like, how did you? And then you know how he got to use that platypus looking beast that's throughout the trailers, you know, the one that loves all the gold and stuff. He somehow snuck on to your boy Grindelwald when he went looking, of course, because that's a sneaky little beast, and managed to pull that pendant, because that pendant, of course, is shiny, and you know he loves his coins, his shiny stuff, and his gold. So he ended up getting that off of him. So he gives it to Dumbledore, and Dumbledore's like, finally I can be able to just either destroy this or dumb this down to where I can put my feet in the fire, you know what I'm saying, and join the fight. So I can't wait for the third one. I can't wait to see Dumbledore in actual action, like doing like fighting type action. I mean, he was doing some cool magic in this, real cool magic, but I want to see him in real action mode. But after that, this is where the biggest bomb of the movie drops, right? So we end up on this, like you see this mountainside, right? You see this mountainside, and then all of a sudden you see where your boy Grindelwald and Grindelwald, the lady that he's with, that's in the thumbnail, that lady, and your boy Credence is all in there, and Credence is like by the window, and there's like this obscure bird that he's like petting the head of. He's like petting it or whatever, and then all of a sudden your boy with the Dark Lord swag comes up. Grindelwald is coming up and he's talking all smooth as per usual, let them know that I know you want to know who you are, blah blah blah, and I'm gonna let you know because your brother is coming to attack you, and it's good for you to know who you are and know what your name is, so you can start going by your actual name, Aurelius Dumbledore. And I was like, yo, you gotta be fucking shitting me. but even before he said it, I knew it was about to be a Dumbledore, because he had made that little obscure bird I was talking about burst into flames and become a full-fledged phoenix. And he was like, it said that your lineage, whenever in need, a phoenix will come to you. Da, 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 da. And I'm like, bitch, no, I didn't know. And then he hits it, Aurelius Dumbledore. And I'm like, bitch, that was nuts. So when he says that, after he says that, he introduces Credence to his first ever wand, right? And then, like I said, that window was open. He was like, right, and blasts a big blast into the side of the mountain and breaks it down. And it's like, yo, I cannot wait for the third film. I cannot wait after that. But let me know, that is Crimes of Grindelwald in a nutshell. That is the spoiler version of Crimes of Grindelwald. Let me know how y'all feel about the movie in the comment section below, and how you feel about the review. Did I miss anything? I tried to get at all of it all at once just now, but if I missed anything, please shout out in the comment section below, and we can definitely have a discussion, because I love Harry Potter. I love the Fantastic Beasts franchise. Part of it, it's not Harry Potter, it's like a darker take, because it's like not about a boy learning the wonders of magic. It's about a man loving the wonders of beasts, but trapped in a war between good versus evil. You know what I'm saying? So let me know in the comment section below how you feel about it. Let me know if y'all ready for the third film. I'm definitely ready myself. If you're new here and you want to join the swag team, make sure you hit that subscription button below, or wait right here for when it pops up to the side with my face. Or also, if you want to be the first of the swag team to see a video when it pops up, make sure you hit that notification bell when it pops up when you subscribe. Also, we have an official Twitter account for the Swagologists. Make sure you go to Twitter at @SwagologistD, and I'll be right there to join the Twitterverse. Or also, it's in the description of this video right below. Make sure you join me there, and we can talk about different videos, and you can see where I'm about to post a video soon. Also, you'll know like other videos that I might be considering making, and also you can suggest them. I'll have polls and everything, because right now I don't have a community tab because I don't have enough subscribers. But with you joining the Swagologist on Twitter, that might help me boost, my channel a little bit. So until the next video, I love y'all. I'll holla. Peace.